Hello everybody, Economic Ninja. What I'm about to talk about is extremely serious. It's not a joke. They are actually doing this. And this is a war for your mind, because what I'm about to explain and what the government just pulled off, what they're doing right now, most people don't understand, because they've tried to turn one word into a four-letter word to get you behind their plan that will make them rich and cause you to be poor, cause you to lose your job. That word is capitalism. Let me explain real quick before I start this story out of CNBC what capitalism really is. Capitalism is the ability to let the best product or service win. Let the best running company win. Not the company that is paying off people in Congress. Not the company that are doing malicious bad things. The company that puts out the best product or service. That is true capitalism. Let the best win, let the weak ones die or lose. When it comes to the destruction of capitalism, in 2008, we saw banks that made bad bets, foolish decisions, be able to not only keep going, but they were given our taxpayer dollars to get even bigger. The term too big to fail came out of that. And right now, what our president just did, it's not my president, sorry, is an attack, a direct attack on capitalism and the gateway, the opening to socialism and communism. I'm not kidding. It is banging down our doors in America. Now, I have a plan to flip it on their heads. And that is to educate everyone in America, because there are a lot of people without a lot of financial education. It's not your fault. It was done by design. The reason why all of this isn't taught in school is because they want you to be a debt slave. And we're going to flip that around on them. This is the story out of CNBC. Biden to launch joint FTC DOJ task force to crack down on unfair and illegal pricing. Let me explain something. The government is hell-bent to make sure that you don't understand that they are the direct reason why we have inflation. Between the federal government and the central bank, which is a private bank that snuck its way into our government through payoffs. They are the reason why we have inflation. I want you to understand this. When you hear the words a 2% inflation target, that means the central bank wants you to have 2% of your wealth destroyed every year at minimum. At the same time, why normally they only pay you 0.1% or 0.5% of interest in your savings accounts or your money market accounts. They want to destroy 2%. Now, just recently, interest is up because inflation's running out of control and they're losing control of the bond market. This system is intended to make the corrupt wealthy. That's why you go become a congressperson, you get paid $150,000, $250,000 a year, whatever it is, and you walk out a handful of years later, a multi-millionaire, if not worth $100 million. Because you're able to trade off of the backs of the slave class, which is you and I. I want you to understand that. We are about to flip this on their head. Check out this story. It says, President Joe Biden on Tuesday will launch a new task force to take on unfair and illegal corporate pricing, which Biden sees as a major reason why consumers are not yet feeling the impact of the cooling inflation rates and a strong economy. Those are both 100% lies. When you start to realize how the world works, you will become successful and wealthy. And that is what I want for every single person watching this video. It says the task force will be jointly led by the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice, two agencies at the forefront of the Biden administration's aggressive regulatory agenda over the past 3 years. When you hear regulations, remember it's your freedoms being taken away. See, this is what's going to happen in a nutshell. The Biden administration is going to set price setting. Price setting is what socialist and communist governments do. It leads to mass layoffs because companies go, why would we make products if we can't make a profit? You see, the reason why products are going up and services are going up is because their costs are going up and they're trying to maintain their profit margin. The profit margin that they are used to doing, the profit margin that gets them up in the morning to go to work, to keep going. And you have to understand, big companies, and I've worked for big companies, I've consulted with very big companies. The C-suite execs could wrap it up and close the company tomorrow and fire up a new one the next day and be making the same amount of money. Once you understand how these companies are built and work, you can move from one to the next. They don't care about their employees when you get to a certain level of company. And that's what the Biden administration knows they're about to attack, and they're about to cause massive, massive layoffs. And most people do not understand how this works. Also, real quick, I want to say thank you to everybody that's been hitting the subscribe button, the people that have been unsubscribed or the people joining the channel lately. We are about to blow through a very serious barrier, which is 440,000 subs, and explode through it. Thank you so much for helping me do this, because I want to wake up the entire world to the fact of what is being done to us financially and morally. Says here, Jonathan Katner, Assistant Attorney General for the DOJ's Antitrust Division, will co-chair the strike force, along with Khan. He says, here at the Justice Department, we are confronting some of the world's most powerful corporations so that we can improve the lives of American families, Cantor said on a call. I want you to understand that they're going to go after the companies that they're not able to blackmail. You see, the government has an agenda to share, for companies to put out their agenda, like what happened a couple of years ago with forcing something into your arm. They want to use the corporations. They want to use the corporations to push their agenda. On Tuesday afternoon, Biden will convene the 6th formal meeting of the White House Competition Council, a ground of top officials throughout the administration who are tasked with rooting out anti-competitive practices across a wide range of industries. Over the last year, supply chains have returned to normal and inflation has come down, said the National Economic Council Director Leah Bernard on a call. Some corporations aren't passing those savings on to customers. Then let them fail. This is my message to you. If a company wants to squeeze you because they've got they're getting record profits, you let them fail. It's happening right now with the auto industry. People said, I'm not paying $10,000 or $20,000 over MSRP. I'll sit back and wait. And guess what? The companies went, crap, we've got to drop our prices. That is how you let an economy thrive. It's called the free market. They want to destroy the free market. If they destroy the free market, that means they're taking away your rights. Please, I implore you to share this video, because this kind of information is not being shared anywhere on the mainstream media and on social media. This is a very serious, pivotal time in our country's history. Our government is taking away our rights little by little. It started after 9/11 in full force. When it comes to our personal liberties, when it comes to our economic liberties, they started taking away in the 70s when Nixon closed the gold window. To everyone that owns gold right now at all-time highs, how do you feel? I want to wake the world up. I want to wake up everyone, the poor and lower middle class. To you, if you want to start thriving right now, all you've got to do, this isn't financial advice, this is life advice, just go buy a silver coin. And when you put it in your hand, you go, I have the money that it says in the Constitution that there should be no other money other than gold and silver coin. I'm now an elitist because I physically own a coin that only costs about $25. I own a full ounce of silver, which less than 0.1% of the nation owns, which makes me an elitist. And then you go from there. That's your starting point. By the Biden administration wanting to weed out those evil corporations that are making profits, I can guarantee you this, they're only going for the companies that aren't on the take. Please understand this. They're going for the companies that are not in the club. They're going to let them pass, just like the banks in 2008 that became too big to fail. Look at Wells Fargo, a prime example of a company that has over and over lied to the public, deceived the public, to the point where they're making fake thousands and thousands of accounts. And now the government said, okay, you're good, you can keep going. Those companies should be allowed to fail, but they're not, because they're part of a club that you're not part of. And this is how we're gonna destroy it. There is an economic collapse right around the corner. It has already begun, and it is a slow takedown of the economy, and then it's gonna happen almost overnight. You will see this happen at a certain point when, after the election, if the election goes a certain way. And I do not want you afraid when this happens, because millions of people are gonna lose their jobs. This is what I want. I want you to be ready and taking advantage of this. This is a serious, amazing time in our history, and it is time to stand up and get ready for this. Slowly get out of debt, or aggressively if you can. Save money in hedges outside of the dollar, but also keep a core dollar holding, because dollars is what makes the world go round right now, right? And then charge the mound, and we're gonna do it together. I plan on getting back on the road after starting mid-April around the country to meet you. I'm gonna get on airplanes, and I'm gonna say I'm meeting in this area, and I wanna get to know more of you. Amazing human beings with the foresight to see what's going on right now and are getting ready. And we're gonna charge this mountain. I thank you so much to everybody that's been sharing these videos, especially in Facebook groups, those groups with 100, 250,000, 400,000 people. And we're going to absolutely crush, blow past this 440,000 subscriber mark. And I'm not joking, it's a very serious mark. It's set up in the algorithm that way. I thank you for making this channel a success. I thank you for making a difference in this country. All I do is hit record. It is time to get fired up. Our government is wanting to destroy our lives, not make it better. Our government is not for the people anymore. And it's time that we rise up and we take it back. The Economic Ninja is out.